Gimme an R. Gimme an Royal Rumble. Yes, that's right. My name is Adam Cleary, life's number 27 entrant, and it is so nearly time for every normal person's favourite pay-per-view. Being as it is an almost inexhaustible well of thick-cut, keyword-rich, quality content, there's not really that much more for us to say on it, but we haven't done the most likely winners yet, and that's always a really fun one. Now, full disclosure, at the time of recording, these are the 6 men that we here at What Culture Wrestling think have the best chance of winning the thing, be that a combination of backstage talk or just simply what would make sense from a booking perspective. So with that in mind, please do step into my not at all creepy boudoir of science and speculation as we look at the most likely winners of the Royal Rumble 2018. Number 6, Randy Orton. Alright, so I was initially going to do this list as a 5, but after talking it over with my more learned colleagues, there is a tiny, small, slight argument to be made for Randy Orton. Long story short, despite him winning last year, he remains, at least in the eyes of the company, one of their biggest stars and the one they're willing to bend over backwards to please. There's all sorts of chatter about what he wants his schedule to be and what WWE are willing to do to give him it. There is like that much of a chance that part of these contract wranglings will involve him asking for one more WrestleMania main event, and if he does, quite a good chance that WWE would just give it to him. Now, on the one hand, Styles versus Orton would be a pretty good feud that they've not really done in a lot of depth yet, but on the other hand, it would be a massive letdown. There's also talk that he might actually prefer to sit the entire WrestleMania season out this year, so I wouldn't bet on this one, but it was just about worth a mention. Number 5, Finn Balor. Were it not for Vince McMahon, we'd actually be getting Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar for the title at this year's Royal Rumble, but he thinks that instead we'd rather watch the wrestling equivalent of 3 raw pork joints in a washing machine. So thanks for that, Vince. Thanks for that. So thanks so much for that, Vince. Now, if we want to try and take a positive from that, it's that Vince's really weird goddamn tricep fetish to one side, there are obviously a lot of people backstage who really rate Balor, and they reckon he shouldn't only be in the world title picture, but he should be in it during a Big 4 pay-per-view. Now, Finn's reaction to not being deemed over enough for this kind of spot has, ironically, led him to getting the very concept of being over, and WWE have responded by putting him back with his old Bullet Club stablemates, Gallows and Anderson. This next bit's a bit of a reach, but bear with me, there are rumours that they're doing this so that he can turn and feud with Styles. There is a tiny bit of logic to it as well, in that his winning the Rumble would be one of the great underdog victories, easily on a par with Rey Mysterio and Shawn Michaels, and that kind of crowd support would turn spectacularly into heel heat. One slight hitch is that the feud would be across brand, but that would still leave them able to do Reigns versus Lesnar, and you know how much they want to do that, so you never know. Personally, I'd love this. Number 4, Daniel Bryan. I don't really know what to say here, except that it's looking more and more likely that they're gonna clear him to allow him to enter the Rumble, and if they are doing that, there's virtually no point unless he's gonna win the thing. Bryan versus Styles would be beyond the wildest dreams of most of us. It is a match that, when it happened in Ring of Honor some 15 years ago, went down as one of the greatest ever and would easily be regarded as one of the best put together Mania main events of all time. I mean, the only other real way to use him in the Rumble is to have it look like he's going to win and then have Shane cost him to set up the pair of them at Mania instead. But, and take it from me, the groans for that would be heard from f***ing space. Number 3, John Cena. Okay, 3 things. 1, John Cena is 1 Rumble victory away from tying Stone Cold Steve Austin's record of 3. 2, John Cena is 1 world title reign away from beating Ric Flair's record of 16. 3, if WWE are keen on positioning him as the greatest sports entertainer of all time, this is their last real chance to do it. Forget anything else, those are reasons enough to consider John Cena a strong favourite to win this year. By his own admission, he hasn't got long left in the ring, and with no obvious world title feuds on either brand, it would be very, very easy for them to do it. Plus, with his role as a free agent, it means he can go after Styles, and yes, they've done that plenty of times before, but come on, they would still put on something brilliant, and that leaves them still able to do Lesnar versus Reigns because they've got such a goddamn hard-on for it. Yeah, speaking of which, what a sad indictment it is of wrestling these days that pretty much anyone with an internet connection knows as an absolute certainty they're getting Reigns versus Lesnar at WrestleMania 34 this year. The only question is, does the road to that go through the Royal Rumble? And you see, that's the thing, isn't it? A lot of fans have already made peace with this idea, and we don't need another tedious underdog story to see him end up in that match. Ultimately, we don't care how they do this. We don't really care how they put Reigns and Lesnar together. So why ruin another Royal Rumble by ending it with Reigns getting booed off the face of the f***ing earth? There are wrestlers who need a Rumble win more than Roman Reigns. There are storylines and gimmicks that need a Rumble win more than Roman Reigns. There is an entire goddamn show on Tuesday night that needs a Rumble win more than Roman Reigns, but when has that ever stopped them before? Number 1, Shinsuke Nakamura. There is not a wrestler in the entire company, possibly in the entire history of the company, that has needed this quite like Shinsuke Nakamura. A man who could put on a Match of the Year candidate in his sleep while in New Japan Pro Wrestling. His time on WWE's main roster has been minging. If he left tomorrow, he would do so having achieved nothing at the top of the card, save for being fed to Jinder Mahal twice. One of the best in the world, and that is all he would have to show for it when a WrestleMania main event against AJ Styles for the WWE title could potentially await. Legitimately, their first chance for the company to put on a 5-star match since Cena versus Punk in 2011. Plus, having one indie darling win the Rumble to then go and face another indie darling in the main event of WrestleMania for the company's biggest prize is something they have never, ever done before. It's the kind of booking they've never even considered in the past. Honestly, it would be historic, and it is the main event we deserve. Just might not be the main event we get. So there we are. Those are our most likely Royal Rumble winners and why. Please let us know what you think in the comments below, and as ever, don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you haven't seen already. Join us Sunday for fun times at go-go. Until then, I have been Adam from What Culture, and I'll see you soon.
Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Aren't you a star? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe below, and also there's probably more content floating up above my head, so why not check that out as well? Could be a laugh. Probably. 6 out of 10.